I think for so many of us, we learn very early as we're dealing with our aging parents that keeping things simple helps so much.
Absolutely. And especially when it comes to the TV and technology,
Yes.
the things that we can really put in place that will help us help them, but we still want to try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yes.
Today, we're joined by Michelle Wright with Jubilee TV. Thanks so much for being with us.
Hi, Kim and Mike. Nice to be here today.
I obviously am a huge fan of Jubilee TV. We've been using this with my mom, and it has really helped us so much in being able to kind of interact and be able to keep her independence, if you will. Let's just start with, kind of the concept of it is, I guess, first and foremost, is making the TV use much simpler.
Yes, that's exactly right. So we know that for many older adults, TV is really the most familiar, most trusted technology in the home. And so when we started this project, it was really, how do we make that technology as accessible as possible for a senior? And so we did some things to really try to simplify that experience for them. And then from there, we said, okay, so TV has traditionally been a screen for entertainment, right? It's a sort of a passive experience. But I have this really big, beautiful, large, loud screen. Could I use it for more than that? And so what we did was really think about how could we make the TV a place where, as a family member with an aging loved one, I could communicate with them. I can get some visibility into them. And it's really about helping enable their independence and then giving me sort of that peace of mind and just tools to help support them and their independence as they age at home.
So let's start with just helping them with the TV, because a lot of times people think, oh, I'm just going to give them a simple remote, that'll solve the issue. And the challenge is sometimes that's not enough. Our TVs are so complicated now. And I love that I can get on the app on my phone and one, just see what mom's watching, as well as maybe make some suggestions of other things to watch, but also just frankly change it for her if she gets stuck. So yeah, this is a great opportunity for us to actually just like see it in action.
Yeah, let's show you a little bit. So the system itself, just real quick, is you can see behind me, but there's a box that connects to mom's television, and then it comes with a simple voice remote. So this controls everything. It controls the TV, cable box, streamers. So that's sort of mom's side of the equation. But then I said, okay, so what if mom gets stuck, right, as you mentioned? So we also have the ability to see what's playing on the TV from the app. So you can sort of see here, my app is a real-time view of the TV behind me. And then I have full control from the app as well. So that's a real differentiator here, is not only that control, but the ability to see what I'm doing, right? Because there's nothing more frustrating than trying to fly blind on the phone and tell someone how to switch inputs or navigate Netflix. So this really erases all of that, right? So I think, Kim, you have this experience, right? Like your mom will call and tell you what she wants, and then you can do it for her.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So can you show us kind of in action what we can do?
So we can do things like change channels. So I can type, let me type it in, ESPN. So I'm typing ESPN into my little command box here. I send that command, and then that is changing the channel on the TV.
That's amazing.
Or I can go to Roku, for example.
And you can even Roku. Okay. And you can, so it works with Roku, and you can even channel up or channel down just like she could.
Yep,
but if you're trying to help her find the right thing. Yeah. So
that's the thing I like about it so much, watching Kim use it with her mom, is that Kim could easily be on her mom saying, okay, on with her mom saying, okay, mom, no, touch that button. No, do that. And it would take 20 minutes just to change the channel to the right one. But instead, Kim still has to do the work, and it's still a little bit of a, well, come on, honey, can you help her? But it's just click, and it takes away all of that time.
Makes and just so the frustration on both of our ends, because if I'm trying to direct her and she can't get to the right, she's not finding the right button or whatever, then she gets frustrated, then I get frustrated, and it just speeds up the process a lot.
Yes.
I imagine that. What's sort of the feedback or the most common uses that you find for this particular feature? is just the ability to be able to change the channel for people.
And makes streaming more accessible. Like, I think Netflix for a lot of older adults is challenging, right? Like navigating this Roku menu and trying to get to what you want to get to, like it's hard for me. I can't imagine, like you have cognitive decline, vision issues, whatever. So I think that ability to say like, oh, there's this documentary that I watched about World War II history that my dad would love, and to be able to just put that on for him because he would never find it on Netflix, has been super helpful for people. And then some of the just troubleshooting stuff, like I can actually go into Netflix and put in like if mom gets logged out and can't remember her password, I can remotely go in and log back in. Nice. That's a super common one.
Yeah.
So just like sort of those little things that I might have to make an extra trip over to the house to do are avoided just by being able to do it from the app. And then frankly, like we hear from people, Dad's not so mad about the TV all the time. And now we actually have time to like have more meaningful conversations because he's not so angry about the TV all the time.
Yeah. And you mentioned Roku and Netflix. So it does work with most streaming services and or smart TVs.
Yeah. So it works with all the major cable and satellite providers and all the major streaming devices. What it does not work with is if you watch apps directly on a smart TV. So if I do Netflix through the smart TV, we're not able to control that remotely. So we just advise people to connect a Roku if you want to do that, and then you have that full. Yeah.
And then you just so you really are open in some ways, opening up their world to a lot more possibilities versus just with my mom. It was just channel up, channel down, and that was really the extent of her. That's the extent of her being able to sort of choose what she wants to watch. And so this really kind of opens up to a lot more opportunities.
It does. And we really have tried to design for a spectrum of seniors. We recently introduced a simple 6-button remote. So this has power, mute, volume up, volume down, channel up, channel down. And in this case, you just connect a single cable box. But the cool thing is channel up and down goes through only the channels that you've set. So I can say, mom really only watches these 5 channels, or she, in a lot of cases, this person has dementia. And so watching a certain channel might be agitating. I don't really want them to watch that. So I'm going to exclude that from the list, right? So they're maybe just channel up and down through the couple, like, couple nice, friendly channels. So we've really tried to design for that spectrum of someone who is more independent, like your mom, right? And sort of knows what she wants to watch and maybe just needs a little help, to someone more, cognitive decline or dementia who really needs a lot more support and just needs a very, very simple experience.
Yeah. But the other thing I like is that sometimes Kim's mom gets too independent because Kim likes her to get out of her apartment and get down and have some fun and socialize with other people. And she'll ask her, well, Mom, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been doing this. Have you been watching TV? No, not really. And Kim can check and see, Mom, you've been watching for 4 hours. What's going on there? So it helps there. So you're able to make sure that they're not doing, I guess, what you don't want them to do.
Out of the, or something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, exactly. Like a change in habits. We sort of give you that visibility in a couple of different ways. So we have a feature that's called Activity Feed. And what that shows you is TV on and off, remote control button presses. But you can actually also set it to show you presence in front of the camera. So I can see when one person is present or when more than one person is present. So I might use this in a situation where I've got a caregiver that comes to the house. And I can get a notification, oh, there's 2 people present in front of the camera. Okay, so now I know that person showed up when they were supposed to, right? Tons of different use cases. Like I might look at, oh, the TV's going on in the middle of the night all of a sudden. That's different. Like, do I need to have a conversation with mom or dad and, try to see what's going on? So it can kind of give you that visibility without, I like to say, without like sort of disrupting or hovering, right? Like I sort of get this data and insight without having to constantly, text, are you okay? How's everything? So it's like a nice balance again for their independence and my peace of mind.
And then I like the drop-in feature too, because I can literally just check in and see, okay, she is watching TV, she's there, she's safe, she's good, and then kind of move on. And without
Yeah,
having to call her just to check.
Yeah, so what that drop-in feature does is it basically gives me a one-way feed into the room, so the TV can be on or off, and I just have a button on my phone here, I hit drop-in, I don't know what's going to happen with the audio.
But there you are.
There we see it. Yeah.
There I am. Exactly. Nothing happens on the TV, so mom doesn't know in this case. It's just a check-in. I hear from this is a nice use case for dementia so we also offer video calling, which would be that two-way interaction. In some cases with dementia, certain times of the day or the video call might be agitating. And I just really mom's working on a puzzle. I don't want to interrupt her, but I just want to make sure she's okay. So I want to just drop in, not bother. Other cases, I do want to do that video call and we want to actually, have a conversation with the grandkids or whatever. So we're again just giving those sort of options depending on your family's, use and situation.
And going back to just the regular remote that it comes with, that has a lot of features on it that mom or dad can use to help control. So they could initiate a video call if they wanted, couldn't they? Can you show us that?
Yes.
And you also said it's voice activated if they want to use it that way.
Yep, it's voice activated, which allows them to say a channel name or number or a device or an app. So they could say Netflix and it'll do that.
Okay.
They could say call Kim and it will take them over to this area.
Okay.
So this is contact. So this is where I've got all my family members in, and so can navigate there. And so mom can start a call or send a chat message. Look at photos that you've sent. Is another fun one that families love. So they can send photos, and then I can actually turn that into a slideshow of photos on the TV. So again, just that notion that I'm using this largest, loudest screen as a way to keep in touch, communicate. I've heard from customers like, mom's so happy now because she feels like she's much more part of our daily lives because we send her photo, and I've got the grandkids on here and they're sending, a photo of, whatever the new puppy or even they can send a little video message. Hi, grandma, like just thinking about you. And that'll pop up on the screen and she doesn't have to do anything, right? Like that's the other piece of it. It's no new technology to learn. This is the TV that I'm already familiar with.
Another feature that I use a lot is the reminders.
Yes.
Would you show us how that works? Because I think that has been a really useful tool. Don't forget, it's time for physical therapy or things like that. So again, I don't have to set the alarm on my phone to remember to call mom at a certain time or leave a meeting or whatever during the day.
So much.
I feel like I'm nagging her. Right. Exactly. So it can be a little bit passive, but certainly a helpful reminder.
Yep. So I basically can use my app to set up. I can't pop it up on here because I got to schedule it to pop up. But
right.
So basically things like take your meds, time for an appointment will just pop up on her TV. And then I, as the caregiver, can actually get notified that reminder popped up. And if I can set it so if mom presses a button on the remote, I can get notified so I know she saw it. The other cool thing with reminders is I can actually set the TV to do something. So like dad loves the Cardinals, right? So I know that the Cardinals are going to play on Fox at 3 p.m. I can actually set a reminder that says, do you want to watch the game? And it'll pop up and then it'll automatically turn to Fox at 3 p.m.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I haven't tried. I have to do that for OU football. I'll have to do that for mom for OU football in the fall.
Yeah. Exactly. Church service is super popular. Like if your church streams a YouTube channel or something, you could set it to go right to that at a certain time. So again, just makes those things that our loved ones love a little bit more accessible for them.
Yeah. So many things that make things easier for mom or dad, but make things better for us as well.
Right. Whether it's us needing to help them or us just being able to observe them and or their activity in a very subtle way, which gives us great peace of mind as well. I think we touched on all the features, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's most everything.
Yeah. And I think that we talked a little bit just briefly about the digital, it really can be this large digital picture frame which can send those, as you mentioned, send the videos or send photos, so that it's just always, they've got these big, and gigantic pictures to be able to really see what's going on in the family. And I think that could be, that's a really neat feature as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks so much for showing all of this, because Jubilee TV shows us so much things to, again, keep things simple and keep things safe for mom or dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Michelle. I think what we're learning here is that, what I always say is that the crisis is going to come no matter what it is. When mom needs something, there's a little bit of crisis there.
Right.
If we can lower that crisis level to make things much easier for us and for her, him or her, it just makes it so much better, doesn't it?
Well, and just knowing that technology that they're already familiar with, that they've been using for a long time, can be a way for us to be able to keep eyes on them and be able to help them a little easier too.
If you have any other topics you'd like us to discuss, please let us know. Parenting aging parents.